There are the tackles that were taken round one last night, getting some guys to protect the quarterbacks, starting with Paris Johnson Jr., the guy that Kyler Murray reportedly wanted. They would have taken him maybe at 3. They get him at 6. We talked about that earlier. Darnell Wright helps Justin Fields in Chicago. Peter Skoronski helps whoever the quarterback is going to be in Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill for now. Broderick Jones, 14 to the Steelers to help Kenny Pickett, and Anton Harrison from Oklahoma goes to Jacksonville, where Trevor Lawrence has become one of the shortlist franchise quarterbacks in the NFL. You know, Chris, it's not real sexy. It doesn't do much for the fantasy football crowd, but these are key pieces of a team. And when your offensive line is great, goes back to what Sean Payton said recently about Bill Parcells. When your offensive line is great, it permeates the entire building.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, we can just go to our Super Bowl matchup this year, right? Those two O-linemen. Those two O-lines on both of those teams, the 49ers in the Final Four, that O-line. You know, we know the Bengals, they made great adjustments to theirs last year to get back to the AFC Championship game and that. It's huge. And like we talked about too, O-line, it's become more of a premium because college football has become so basic. There's just very few that are really ready to go and play right away. So that's why when one goes, teams get scared. And then as we talk about all season, and like we see here, I mean, defensive linemen are growing on trees in college football. The offensive linemen that are capable of playing in the NFL cannot keep up with the amount of defensive linemen that can play in the NFL. So that's where there's a premium. Paris Johnson, 6, not shocked. New England prototype pass protecting left tackle, has all the measurables, the arm length they love. You know, I love the Bears and taking Darnell Wright. I think he's, you know, Justin Fields, you want to replicate what the Eagles are doing on offense. This is your guy that can be, you know, Mailata, just a huge presence, road grader, just move you out of the way. And I think his pass protection stuff is better than what the scouting community has given it credit for. And then we got to the Steelers, right? Broderick Jones. We know the Steelers. I mean, we've been talking about it for 3 years. Their O-line needs to get better. And that's why they made that move up to trade for a guy that maybe has the best potential of all, and Broderick Jones to be the best tackle in this draft out of Georgia.
You know, the point you made, and this explains so much of what's happening in the NFL, the stuff that drove Joey Bosa crazy in the playoff game, the holding that doesn't get called by the offensive lineman, which at times is blatant.
It's so blatant.
And unbelievable,
right,
frankly. And the half-second head start that we see the tackles get when they take that step back into their pass block set before the snap doesn't get called. A little edge here, a little edge there to neutralize the fact that the defensive lines are better than the offensive lines. So there is a premium on doing whatever you can to make your offensive line better because the gap is real. Not just the fact that these edge rushers are giants and strong and fast and can bend their bodies and get around you.
Right.
But the good teams have 7 or 8 guys they're rotating in, and they're fresh, and the offensive line is the 5 same guys for the most part the whole freaking game.
That's right.
They're wiped out by the time the fourth quarter rolls around.
Yes, that's exactly right. You laid it out there perfectly. And that's where teams, you know, guys like this start to go off the board because it's like panic. Like, hey, wait. There's only 4 or 5 tackles that can, like, play right now. And the rest of the guys, you know, there's, like, some fringe guys that can maybe play. And then there's a huge drop-off to, like, oh, crap, this guy's work, and we're going to have to work with him for him to ever play with us. So that's where, you know, you see that go. I love the Titans taking Peter Skoronski. He was probably the safest bet out of all offensive linemen. He could play tackle, but I think he could be, you know, one of the best guards in football. That's a good one. And then to the point of what you're making, Mike, right? You know, the end of the round, the Jaguars, what they did, you know, Cam Robinson sounds like he's got a PED issue, right? They lost Jawan Taylor in free agency. It's Doug Peterson. He came from Philadelphia. We know he believes in big O linemen. Anton Harrison's probably not a first-round selection, but he's the next guy up at that position that's ready, so he gets a little overdrafted maybe because of the run and the things you've described so well, Mike.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.